All right, everyone, welcome back to Double Dribble. I know it's been a long time.
It's been a very long
It's
time.
been very long. We've had a couple of weeks where we haven't done it due to college stuff and things of that nature, and we're just busy men.
We had a great interview with Kevin Durant, but it got lost.
Got lost.
Another Russell Westbrook. We got both of them on at the same time. It was incredible. It was a lot of great sound bites, but damn, that was such a great interview too.
Yeah,
I'm upset we lost
I'm kinda
that.
Pissed,
yeah.
But regardless, we're here again. We're about halfway through the season. Coming up on the AllStar game. It's been exciting so far. And you want to just talk about the development of the season as it's gone far?
Yeah. So we learned it was a long season. I made my Eastern Conference predictions, and though I was like, oh, these are so wrong right now. But now they're not even looking that bad. Like the Wizards got better, and like the Hornets got a little bit worse.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But one thing I've been happy to see develop over the season is Isaiah turn into pretty much a star,
a superstar.
The things he's been doing the past couple of games, like when he hit that like pretty much game-winning shot, and when he went off like 40 plus, it's just been incredible to see him in the green jersey, like dominating pretty much.
Is he better than Kyrie?
See, this is the conversation we had a while back with Barstool Greedy, and I think it's still up in the air. Should he have started over him in the All-Star game?
Yes, he should have started, because he's having a better year.
He is having a
much better year.
He is having a much better year. And speaking of Isaiah getting snubbed, let's move into some All-Star snubs if you want to do that.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert. Yeah.
I don't know. I think the one thing about the All-Star game is we want to see like exciting players.
I know he's not exciting at all.
Rudy Gobert is the most unexciting player.
But put him in there over like Marcus Gasol. You think Marcus Gasol is exciting or anything? No.
I mean, he's just like fundamentals. But so is Rudy Gobert. I think Rudy Gobert is like ugly, and I think he shouldn't. he's just a big gloop.
But he's very good. I mean, he's very good defensively, and he's having a great season. And the Jazz are having a good season. So I mean, I think you should. He doesn't have like a big name.
Yeah, that's another problem with like the All-Star game. You need a big name to get in there, and then like someone who did have like a big name but not as big as Embiid, he didn't get in. He kind of got snubbed too.
A little bit.
I mean, you have to take into account it is his quote unquote rookie season, so you don't really expect a rookie to be in the All-Star game.
And their records, like the records of the team, took on a founding because their record still isn't good, even though they've been doing good lately.
Yeah,
which is weird. They
have been doing very well. I saw the stupidest article I've ever read. It was about why Embiid should be in the race for MVP. I was like, that's just so wrong. That just shouldn't be a thing. But regardless, he's had a great year so far. He's really. I remember one of the first podcasts, I talked about how like I didn't like him and how he's just annoying, and now he's really shown up. Like he's just a great player overall. He's really expanded his range, and it's great to see him like go that way. And
honestly, the difference a year makes, because now everyone was saying, oh, he's the worst out of Parker and Wiggins, that top three. Yeah. Now people are saying like he's the best.
Yeah. Plus, like everyone like compared him to like Greg Oden.
Yeah, I know.
And like all these like flops like Kwame Brown, and he's
proven him wrong.
He's proved him wrong. He's made him eat their words. Another snub is Damian Lillard. I mean.
Yeah. The record again killed him.
Yeah. Again, the record. But Damian Lillard has like a big name to him, and the thing a lot of people do with Damian Lillard, they like to just say like, "Oh, Damian Lillard's like a top 5 point guard."
I know,
but
just because of his name.
Just because of his name, they don't have any like stats to like back it up.
Like Isaiah's stats are better this season. I don't see why reason Isaiah was not better than him this season.
Adam and I we were looking at like a chart of like the top 10 point guard, and Isaiah wasn't even in it. He was like 12, and it's like how do you not put him in the top 10?
He's averaging 28 points a game,
like plus, like and then he like very very good assist numbers, and like
6, which is fine.
I mean he averages more than.
What more do you want the man to do?
He's 5'9", and he's averaging like 3 rebounds a game. Like
honestly.
That's great. But the thing with Lillard is like he's always in like the All-Star game, and he does like he is like pretty flashy, and like that's what people like to see in the All-Star game. And another person who's like not as flashy, but he can have those moments, is Karl Anthony Towns. He got snubbed.
He did get snubbed. He's really quite the center. He's quite the player. Like he's gonna be so good in the future.
Yeah, it's actually it's like dumb to think how good he's gonna be in the future. Like, he's the quintessential big man, like, for the league now. Like, he's tough. He can work the post. He can rebound. He can shoot threes. Yeah. That's a stretch five, baby. And he's just an overall beast when it comes to just the game of basketball. Like, you see him just dominating centers who have been in the league for like so many years now, and they can't do anything about him because he's bigger than they are. He's stronger than they are, and he's just better than they are.
A player like that's so rare to find. In a draft.
Like,
that's like the perfect player. When you expect to draft someone, that's the perfect player you want.
And it's not even that he's like a stiff with the basketball. Like, he can dribble.
I know. He can literally do everything.
Yeah, him in years to come is going to be a great thing to see. Those are like the big snubs from
Chris Paul too. He's
injured. That's reasonable.
That's
Plus, I don't even.
He's very good.
Like, low key, I don't think Chris Paul's that good, but
yeah, I'm a huge fan of Chris Paul. I think he's the most valuable player on the Clippers easily. Like what would DeAndre Jordan be without Chris Paul?
Okay, yeah,
without him feeding him the ball, like he'd literally just be a stiff in the middle.
But like everyone puts Chris Paul at like the third position at like best point guards in the league. But if you think about it, he has the easiest job in the NBA. He goes out, he gets like 16 points, he averages that. He gets a couple rebounds, and he gets like 10 assists from DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin.
But he also did the same thing on the Hornets, though.
Yeah, well, that was
But he didn't have Jordan or Blake.
Yeah, that was prime Chris Paul. I'm not going to deny prime Chris Paul.
Unbelievable.
Made like the best point guard in that league.
Yeah.
But right now, people still put him up there, and he's getting older. He's like the same age as LeBron, I think.
I definitely still put him up there, like top 5.
Okay.
Maybe top 7.
I'd put him in top 6 or 7. Yeah. But put him. I see a lot of people putting him at 3. The thing I can say about Chris Paul, this may sound odd. He's the best point guard.
Like pure point guard?
Pure point guard, but he's not the best point guard in the league.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, he's not the best person in the league who plays the point guard position. He's the most prime point guard in the league.
You're like a true point guard.
Yeah, he's the best true point guard in the league. Like, you go out there, you feed your team. That's what a point guard does, and you score if needed.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of players, like we look at like Damian Lillard or Isaiah or John
Harden.
Wall, or if you want to call Harden,
Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo. We'll talk about him later. But or even Westbrook and Curry, they're much better at the point guard position than he is, but they're not as good as point guards. It may sound odd to like anyone who's not a real basketball like fanatic.
And he's like one of the only like true point guards left in the league.
Exactly.
Like that breed's dying.
Yeah, I actually can't think of any more pure point guards.
Rondo, I mean.
Rondo, yeah.
Speaking of Rondo, a little Instagram.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. I want to talk about 2 more snubs. These like we already. We already talked about Isaiah getting snubbed from the starter, but
I was expecting that. Like, I didn't want it to happen, but
I look across from Adam and he's wearing his Boston Celtics sweatshirt, and he's just bleeding the green, baby.
Love it.
But I think the biggest snub of it all is Westbrook not getting the starting point guard position.
Unbelievable. The man's averaging a triple-double. Like, what more do you want, honestly?
I think it's just like the Golden State Warriors are just like so
like their fan. No, it's just their fans. Like Zaza almost started.
Like what?
Yeah, it's just their fans are the worst people.
Yeah, and that's why the popular vote doesn't count.
That's why it doesn't work. That's why we need to get an electoral college system in the NBA All-Star voting. And that's how this is the voting system. That's how like dictators like Hitler and like Stalin.
Oh my God.
That's how that's why they come into power, because people vote for stupid stuff like that. So
okay.
Thank you. Thank you for,
Thank you, committee, for not putting Zaza Pachulia as he could have become Hitler, in the words of Adam Blue.
Exactly.
Moving on from that's pretty much it for the All-Star snubs.
Yeah.
That's going to be our top 5 for the day, because we usually do top 5, but we were lazy this week. But another thing I'd like to talk about is Harden is putting up stats that have never been seen before. Like last night, he put up another
like 50, right?
Another 50 triple double.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first player in NBA history to put up multiple 50-point triple doubles in a season, and he scored 53 last night. And he also tied a player for the most points in a triple double. Would you like to guess who that player is? The other player?
Oscar.
No,
Wilt.
It was Wilt, baby.
Oh,
let's
boy.
go, Wilt.
I mean, Harden didn't play in like an easy era though. He didn't play in like an era where like people were like kind of getting introduced to the game of basketball.
I just want to reach across this table and like choke you out.
I mean,
but saying like how Harden is sure, Westbrook is putting up unbelievable stats, but the things Harden's doing on the basketball court, like getting consistent 40-point triple doubles, I think he's undeniably the MVP.
Yeah, and their record's good too. So
yes.
he'll get voted in right now because a lot of people take into the account the record of that team, and their record's much better than the Thunder's. So
yeah, I think that even if Westbrook does put up this triple-double season, which he will.
Yeah.
He will.
He should.
I think that Harden's, I don't know if it's more impressive because of the stuff he does. Because it's not only like Westbrook is like just getting it. Like he's like, I wouldn't say he's just getting, because like he's getting like 17 rebound nights, which I don't get. Like, how do you have like Enes Kanter?
He's just so aggressive.
And like Steven Adams on your team, two great big men, and then you're getting 17 rebounds.
He
Like, how does that work?
He just steals the rebounds.
Yeah, that's a little ridiculous, but it's just like at this point in the season, like there's no one who is doing what Harden is doing, or has ever done. No one's ever done what Harden is doing. So to like see him do that, I think that he's undeniably the MVP.
You know, people were saying this season was going to be bad, but like I feel like Westbrook and Harden are kind of like making it.
Honestly, I think this is one of the best seasons we've seen in a while.
It's a great season.
But like that's because of like underdogs coming up and like really showing out. Not that Harden was an underdog, but like no one expected him to do this. Same with Isaiah. No one expected him to do this. Like to be putting up these great nights. Another player like to slide in there, Giannis.
Oh,
just sliding Giannis.
He's the future of the league. Yeah. See, this season there's like also like the players people playing incredible, like Harden, Westbrook, Isaiah even. And now we're seeing we're also seeing like a new generation, like Antetokounmpo, Porzingis, Towns, even Jokic. And who else is that? Like Wade and Melo, like they didn't even make the AllStar team. So now we're seeing like a new generation take over, which is interesting to see this season.
But I want everyone to know this. Just Adam, just tell him who was on the Giannis train first. Who is talking about him?
Someone in like Greece or something.
Oh
I
my God,
I forget his.
Hate you.
I don't know. There's some guy in Greece, maybe like Spartacus or something.
No,
he wasn't in Greece.
Since draft day, who has been talking about this man being the future of the NBA?
Was it the Milwaukee Bucks writer?
No, it wasn't a Milwaukee Bucks writer. It was me. I've been talking about Giannis for so long. I've been talking about him for so long.
Sure about that?
Adam, stop lying to the fans. We know who has been talking about him for all this time. Before we started this podcast.
How about his dad that's watching him play?
No.
That's watching him play since he was a child.
It wasn't his dad. It wasn't the Nias, his less handsome, less athletic
his
brother.
Yeah,
I would hate to be that guy.
Yeah, he's kind of the worst.
But it's been me, and I want everyone to know that.
Maybe like at MC.
What?
Maybe like you're the first one to talk about him at MC.
No. In Massachusetts. In the United States.
In Massachusetts is a stretch, maybe.
No, it's not.
Maybe like tied.
No, I'm not tied.
You're definitely tied with someone.
Okay, I'm not going to have this argument, but I just want everyone to know when Giannis wins the MVP in a couple of years, when he's the star of this league, I need everyone to let him know that I'm his biggest fan and that I need a picture with him. Or just a text with him, or just.
Well,
anything.
He listens to this podcast, so
yeah, he does. He's reached out to us.
Yeah,
that's just not true, but people think it is. Actually, no, they won't.
Yeah,
but I need everyone to let him know that I think he's the best thing since God.
He needs to learn a jump shot.
Listen, he's expanding his range.
He is expanding his range.
Like last night, or a couple nights ago, he went like 2 for 3 from 3-point line. That'd
be scary to see.
I was amped. He's 22 years old.
I know.
And he's already he's a top 10 player in the league.
You think so? Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I can see it. He's like averaging like kind of triple double ish numbers, you know.
Yeah, 22 years old.
I know.
And being a top 10 player, it's just ridiculous. And I liked how you brought up earlier like the fading in of the old and in with the new, and we kind of see that with like the Melo rumors of the trade. Like, like no one wants him anymore.
I think I don't know if he's gonna be off the Knicks because there's always these rumors that come up every year during the trade deadline. I don't think he'll be off the Knicks. Like, this season, but I think maybe over the offseason would be.
I honestly think it's the smartest thing the Knicks can do.
Yeah, it is. Build around Porzingis.
I think that Carmelo is one of the best scorers of all time. I think he's still a great scorer, but he's gotten to the point where he's score first. And right now, I think Porzingis is more valuable to the team.
Yeah.
And I'd much rather see the ball in Porzingis' hands late in game than Carmelo Anthony at this point in time. So it's gotten to the point where I just want to see out with Carmelo, build around Porzingis, get him some pass first point guards, maybe some facilitating shooting guards.
Build around him.
Around him, and then you will have a super team at your hands in the years to come. Get rid of D Rose, buy your garbage.
The problem with Melo is he has a no trade clause, so you can't just trade him to like the Orlando Magic or something. Yeah. Even if they have the best offer. So that's a problem.
That's why you've been seeing a lot of things of Carmelo to the Celtics.
Yeah, and the Celtics I think said no, but the Clippers though.
Yeah. Would you even want him on the Celtics?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. A lot of people are against it. I think it's because they hate him so much. He's not a Boston guy.
You know why? You don't want to know why? Want to know why I'd be for it?
Why?
Because it's Jay Crowder off the team.
Jay Crowder's solid. I don't see what you have against Jay Crowder. He's so solid.
He's just not.
Yeah, he is. He's the most solid guy.
I think this is the one thing we bring up every podcast is how much I hate Jay Crowder.
He's so solid though. What's he ever done wrong? His 3-point percentage is up this season too.
I don't need an average player. Below average player.
He's not below average.
Absolutely.
No, he's not.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Okay, whatever. But we're gonna talk about some drama in the league with the Chicago Bulls. If you wanna leave.
Oh yeah. So Wade and Butler after a loss, I think it was to the Hawks. They melted down at the end. They go to the media, which you never should do.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, people on this team don't want to win. People on this team, we need to win right now. They complain, and then obviously that stirs up controversy. And then Rondo goes to Instagram and he says, my vets. He's talking about KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen wouldn't go to the media, and they motivate us inside the locker room, and instead of going to the media, they'd motivate us. And he said that he himself was a good teammate, which. Yeah. No, I don't agree with.
It's debatable.
That's very debatable. But yeah, a lot of controversy. And last night they benched Wade and Butler.
Yeah.
So
it's almost
things aren't okay in Chicago.
It's almost as if Butler benched himself. He got a foul and he took himself out of the game.
And he had 3 points.
Yeah, he went 1 for 13.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
It's awful. That tells me a lot about Butler too. You go to the media, you complain. They kind of melted down. It was kind of his fault too. And then he goes 1 for 13.
Yeah.
That's...
It's a very controversial topic, and we're excited to see what's going to happen with it, and we'll be talking about that.
I feel like Wade should know better, too.
Yeah, he's a veteran, and we'll be talking about that on later podcasts. But a good friend of Wade, we're going to wrap up with this, is on the Cavaliers, how LeBron threw at some shade after the last losses when he goes, we need a playmaker on this team, completely disregarding Kyrie Irving.
Is he the GM? Is he the GM?
He might as well be.
He's like, Tristan Thompson needs a max. We should trade for Kevin Love. He'd be fire the GM, fire the coach. You'll save your franchise some money. Because, those guys, what do? They just listen to LeBron. If LeBron wants something, you can't say no to him. He'll just not sign with you the next season.
It's literally a guarantee. Whatever LeBron wants, it's what he gets. Because no team is going to defy what he says because he's LeBron. He's going to get what he wants. And it probably got Kyrie low-key hurt because, LeBron knows that Kyrie's more of a score-first point guard. And I think LeBron, even though he's never been that, scorer in his life, he's a purebred scorer. He's more of an all-around player.
Yeah.
But, I think he's starting to get into his career where he's like, we're not getting stuff done. Give me the ball. I'll get it done. And I think it's good and bad at the same time because if he has that assassin mentality like Kobe did or like MG did.
Kobe.
If he has that mentality, I think they'll go far and I think they'll beat the Warriors. But if he starts to succumb to the pressure of not having a playmaking point guard
You get around it. Like, you have to get around it.
Yeah, you need to get around it, but it's at the point where if something doesn't happen quick, they're not going to win the championship, and I think they need to show that for LeBron to be the best player of all time, he needs to win this year.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, then I think it's pretty much over in the conversation. Yeah. That's going to wrap it up for this week as we need to get out of here. It's late in the night, but it's been great talking to you guys again.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in weeks to come. All right, bye, guys. Bye.